Good morning, everyone. Shalom Aleichem, Bruchim Abam. We're continuing in Mishnah Berura, Daf HaShavua. We are up to Siman Kuf Lamed Daled. Welcome, everybody. Well, I want to take this opportunity to let everybody know we're launching our annual Machon Maggid Harakiah campaign. If anybody would perhaps consider participating, the best way you could help us out is to set up a team page. Even if you don't plan on reaching out to anybody, it's really a very big chizuk to us if you would consider doing so. Okay, we're continuing in Siman Kuf Lamed Daled. The Mechaber began, actually, the Ramah's comments open up Siman Kuf Lamed Daled, and the Ramah started off by saying that the minhag is to be marbe b'tachnunim on Monday and Thursday. And the Mechaber said, V'hu racham, that we say b'kol. The Mechaber's opening is a little bit unusual because he just says, V'hu racham, v'oimim aisai b'kol. Well, what about V'hu racham? In other words, it's interesting how the Ramah added words to the Mechaber here, because the Ramah starts off, Noyagim lahar zachanun b'sheni v'chamishi, v'oimrim, and now the Mechaber kicks in, V'hu racham. But how are you supposed to read the Mechaber before the Ramah came along? You know, before there was a Ramah, the Mechaber just began with the word V'hu racham. And you say it b'kol, and if you don't say it standing, you're considered over on a takana, and you're called a purest geder. Actually, the V'hu racham was compiled by somebody randomly sent me a message this morning, and I usually don't look at my messages before Mishnah Berura, but have to get somebody here a passport. Somebody randomly who'd had no idea I'm learning holiest V'hu racham, but because I learned with him the Chida, sent me that the Kolbai says that V'hu racham was composed by 3 tzaddikim who were thrown into a fire and were saved. That's who the composers of V'hu racham are. The Chida happens to say that you have to say V'hu racham standing, and you have to say it, the Chida says, with your feet together, because it's keneged the Yirches Brachos of Shemona Esrei. That's what the Chida brings in the Tzipar and Shamir. Anyway, we saw in the Mishnah Berura that not everybody agrees that you're considered a purest geder if you sit down. You're only a purest geder if you don't say it at all. But if you don't say it ba'amida, you're not considered a purest geder. Fine. The Ramah continues. The minhag is to say it standing. We do not say it b'kol. The Mechaber said b'kol. The minhag is to say it standing, but we say it b'lachash. Since Monday and Thursday are days of Hashem's goodwill, therefore the minhag is to fast on them. The minhag is to fast on Monday and Thursdays. Says the Mishnah Berura, b'lachash. Oh, that fits well in with what we learned from the Chida, that you put your feet together and it's keneged the brachas of Shemona Esrei, so it's said b'lachash as well. The Matei Moshe says this the idea that we brought, because 3 zakenim were masakein V'hu racham, each one was masakein a chelek. Each chelek has 18 mentions of Hashem's name, keneged Yirches Brachos. Therefore, they say it ba'amida uvelachash. What's the reason for the Dea Rishayna? V'tam Dea Rishayna kedei la'orer hakavana. The reason for the first Dea is to be ma'or kavana. The Nara upashte. Each river spreads out on its course. In other words, you could do whatever you want. However, that's what the Mishnah Berura says. The Ramah l'chayr would not say you could do whatever you want. The Ramah would say you could do it b'lachash. The Mishnah Berura, though, is saying each community should do their custom. Yesh oimrim d'chshayisayim v'huracham koydem asher tzibor Yamtim im racham mechanen ala shliach tzibor v'noifel imoy. Some say that when you finish v'huracham before the shliach tzibor, you should wait before you put your head down with the shliach tzibor and fall down with him. V'kasav v'shari tshuva, no, inna in roiv tzibor mamtinim ala shliach tzibor. Nowadays, most people don't wait for the tzibor. V'chol echad noifel alapa b'shash shagoymer, and everyone falls down at when it's good for them, ayin sham. Now, why does the Mishnah Berura say that yesh oimim d'chshamasayim v'huracham comes yatzir yamtim im racham mechanan? Why does it say ramtim in vayomer David el Gad? Because the Mishnah Berura says you don't say vayomer David el Gad. It's not lahalacha. You don't say that sentence vayomer David el Gad. It's in parentheses. You know, like in the Gemara, when something's in parentheses, you don't read it. That's the rule. If kol shekain when it's in the parentheses in the Siddur. But just pointing out, the Mishnah Berura, we never saw the Mishnah Berura says vayomer David el Gad. Here also, it's conspicuously absent. Therefore, we fast on Monday and Thursday. L'hisanois b'hem ayin lekaman b'soif siman tav kov pei u'masha nichtav sham b'Mishnah Berura. Look at the end of siman tav kov pei. Somebody just asked me a question the other day. They find it very easy to fast. Sometimes it's 5 o'clock and they realize they're fasting. So they wanted to know, should they fast? Because for them it's very easy to fast. It's like, not only that, they wanted to actually fast 2 or 3 days. They could do it very easily. I'm not sure what to say. I'm trying to, but anyway, I think for starters, I said last Friday would be a good day to fast. You know, it's brought down in halacha. If you like, you know, if you're a faster and it's easy for you to fast and it doesn't affect you, so l'chayr the next step would be Monday and Thursday. I don't know. Anyway, Sif Beis Mara Pnei Kesivas Sefer Torah La'am. You show the face of the writing of the Sefer Torah to the people. Ha'imdim liyaminoi v'lasmoiloi, that are standing to the right and to his left. Umachziroi lefanav la'achrav, he turns it in front of him to the back. Shemitzvah al kol anoshim v'noshim lirois haksav. It is a mitzvah for all men and women to see the writing of the Torah. V'lechroya, and to bow. V'loimer, and to say, v'zois ha-Torah asher sam Moshe lefnei b'nei Yisrael. And Torah's Hashem Tamima, Meshivas Nafesh. There's a mitzvah to see the Ksav. It's not a mitzvah to see the Sefer Torah. It's a mitzvah to see the Ksav. We're going to see, if you point to the Sefer Torah by V'zois HaTorah, but you're not seeing the Ksav, that was a premature pointing. You don't point until you see the written part, not just you see the Sefer Torah. You have to see the Ksav. You don't have to read the Ksav, but you have to see the Ksav. Yeah, you see in the Mechaber, it's a halacha. The mitzvah is to see the Ksav. It happens to be the Mechaber is talking about before Kriyas HaTorah, not after. This is the minhag of the Sfardim, before Kriyas HaTorah. Says the Mishnah Berura, Sivkatan Ches. Ha-Mechaber Kosav Din Zeh Koydem Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah. The Mechaber writes this before Hilchos Kriyas HaTorah. Shekein minhag Sfaradim Hagba'ah Koydem HaKriya V'ayin lekaman b'Hagga'ah sheminhaginu lasas Hagba'ah achar HaKriya. We do it after. The Shiur Knesset Agdol explains the reason we do it after is because of the ignorami who think that the more important thing is that V'zot HaTorah, and then during the Kriyas HaTorah they don't pay attention. No, we want to ensure that they hear the Kriyas HaTorah. We read it and then we show it, because many people mistakenly think the Ikar mitzvah is to see the Ksav. The Ikar mitzvah is to listen. Now, Hamagbia Sefer Torah al Tevel Haris Am Goylala Ad Shloisha Dafim Umagbia. The Magbia Sefer Torah, to show it to the people, he rolls it up to 3 pages, and he lifts it up. It could be, the Magen Avram says, the Efsher, the Davka Nakat Shloisha. It could be 3. Meaning up till 3. Not more than that. Also not less than that, but not more than that. Is it not definitely not more than that? Maybe. Says Mishna v'nirali detaloi lefikayach hamagbia shia biyacholtoi laagbia kshi neglelas harbe. It's going to depend on the strength of the magbia. Meaning, it would be better if he could open it up with 10 columns. Show the whole Sefer Devarim. But he has to have worked out to be able to do that. So the Mishnah says, it depends on your physical strength. But there is an opinion of the Magen Avram, 3 and no more.
While you say Torah, I don't know if you could do more than 3.
It's like an accordion, they it depends on the ksav. Okay, one more Mishnah. Pnei ksiva sefer Torah kasu acharim kishamar sefer Torah la'am. When you show the sefer Torah to the people, who oimed b'mizrach hateva, and you're standing on the right side of the teva, yakif mi mizrach ladarim, you should encircle from the mizrach to the south. Kamay shekasa b'siman kuf chav ches le'inyan kayhanim ayin sham. So what does this mean? The Dirshu says that there, regarding Berchas Kayanim, he wrote that they turn to the right, like the Gemara says in Yuma, Kol pina she'ata paina, lo yehei ela derech yamin. Now, how do you show it to the tzibor? In the Shas Teshuvos Mishna Halachos, he says, from the Shulchan Aruch, it's mashma, you don't do a complete revolution. First, you turn to the right. You show to the people on your right. So if you're going to show to the people on your right, that really means you're turning to which side?
Which side is Sefer Torah?
Now, I don't think it's limited to a Sephardi Sefer. I don't think the Rabbi Menashe Klein and the Shevet HaLevi are telling you how to do Hagba'ah on a Sephardi Sefer Torah.
No.
They're talking about an Ashkenazi Sefer Torah.
It's going to be different.
Okay. Yeah, but if you're showing who you're giving precedence to, your own personal revolution, or you're giving precedence to the people on the right side. So the Mishnah Halacha says, the Shulchan Aruch is mashma, you don't go in a circle. You don't do a sivuv shalem. What do? You show the people on your right, and then you show the people on the left. However, the Shevet HaLevi says, no, it's better to follow what it says in Shuvas Be'er, that you do a complete revolution from the east to the south, meaning you go in a circle. And that was the minhag of the Chazon Ish. But when he finished, he then turned to the right, and he went back. So which direction do you turn first? You pick up the Sefer Torah. It sounds like the Chazon Ish first turned to the left. You hear this? That's what the Chazon Ish first turned to his left side.
People on the right can see it.
To show it to the people on the right. You're going from the Mizrach. Now the Beresheva says you're going from the Mizrach to the Daraim. That's toward the right side. But then the Chazon Ish El Shazim Himshach.
To do Hagba'ah facing yourself. Maybe you're supposed to split. Maybe you're supposed to flip it around like the Chassidus.
The Shevet HaLevi says when people walk closer to see the Sefer Torah itself, then there's no revolution is required for Hagba'ah because you're already Mekayim the Mitzvah by the people who came to see. But Mikam Makayim, if you turn, it's a Mitzvah Gemura. Okay, we'll see if there's more information about which direction to turn to first. Because the lashon that he brings down here from the Be'er Sheva is Mi Mizrach L'Daraim. Mizrach L'Daraim is turning to the right side. If you're facing the Mizrach, you're turning to the Daram, is you're turning right, which would then mean you're showing the people on your left first. But then he brings from the Chazon Ish that at the end of his Hakafa, he turned to the right. If he turned to the right, that means he started off by turning to the left. I don't know, it's not clear what the Chazon Ish did. Okay, we'll hold it over here, Rabbi Say. Shkayach.
Recording stopped.